Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I am so excited to share with you part 3 of my minimalist Halloween series, where I am showing you a tutorial of this creepy zombie look using zero waste items that you probably already have. So first you're going to create a paste of flour and water, just a 1-to-1 ratio. I use 2 tablespoons of flour with 2 tablespoons of water, and you can also use cornstarch for gluten-free. I just mix it together until it's smooth. Starting off with a fresh, clean face, you're going to apply the lightest foundation that you have. Just use a blending brush, your fingers, a sponge, whatever you have. And this is actually optional, but I think it helps with having a better consistency for your skin tone when you apply the wounds later on. Next, you're going to apply your concealer. Again, the lightest concealer you have, because you do want to have a pallor to you. Now, this is optional as well, but I like to fill in my brows just to frame my face and make everything pop. Now I'm going to apply my bronzer, where I'm going to add it to my temples, along my cheekbones, above my chin, in the edges of my forehead, down my nose, along my jawline, down to my neck. Now you're going to do the same thing by layering on a darker bronzer, or in my case you can use an eyeshadow. Here I'm using this dark ashy gray brown. Now you're going to grab some toilet paper. I know, crazy, right? You're going to use toilet paper to create your wound to make that special effect zombie look. Just tear it into pieces the size of the wound that you'd want, and use your face as a marker. Just make sure it's the right size and have the right placement before you apply it. Now, using the flour or cornstarch paste that you made, you're going to apply the toilet paper onto your face. Just place the piece of toilet paper where you want it and align it properly. Then you're going to add the paste. Just spread it on the edges till it sticks. It should stick like glue. I added another wound to my forehead. Just continue to do the same method with any wound you apply to your face or anywhere else. Here I added a third wound. I wanted to do a Chelsea smile. You'll see it later. And I actually added a second layer of toilet paper to all the wounds just to give it more durability and more dimension. You'll see what I mean when I start cutting into it. Okay, I actually added a wound on my chest after this, which you'll see later. But now you're going to let your wounds dry just till it's tacky. You don't want it to be too dry or it'll be hard to cut into. So about 45 minutes to an hour. Alright, now for the fun part. You're going to use a pair of scissors to cut into the toilet paper to create your actual wound openings. Just cut into it till it's the size you want. Careful not to cut your own skin, of course, and careful not to cut to the very edge of the toilet paper so you don't have it fall off. And you're just going to spray it around with your fingers so it creates that opening. Now for the Chelsea smile, I actually left an opening in the corner of my lips and I didn't add any paste to it, so I can cut into it right up my cheek. And there you can see I'm just spreading the toilet paper apart to create that laceration. Now for the rest of the wounds that I wanted to make, I went ahead and did the same thing, cut into it and spread it apart, creating the opening that I want. Now using my scissors, I went ahead and cut into the edges of the torn toilet paper just a little bit to create a more tattered, torn effect for my skin. Now I'm applying foundation to the dried flour paste and toilet paper using the same foundation I used earlier for my face, just spreading it around with my fingers and using a beauty blender to smooth it out even more. Using a dark maroon lip liner, I am adding that to the edges of the inside of the wound to create more shadow so it can look more three-dimensional. You can also use a brown or black eyeliner here, or even dark eyeshadow. Whatever you have on hand, use that. Adding an even darker lip liner here, just for more depth. Now for the gory part, the blood. I'm using a red liquid lipstick. I like the liquid lipstick because it has that wet effect to it, but of course you can use regular red lipstick, whatever you have on hand. Now I'm going ahead and adding the red lipstick to the edges of the torn toilet paper. Not being too concerned with being precise here, of course, because it is torn skin. There's nothing precise about that. Now using a reddish nude eyeshadow, I'm using a fluffy eyeshadow blending brush and just applying that all around the edges of the toilet paper, across the floor, and underneath my eyes, across my cheeks, just to blend it all together and create more depth and have a more grimy effect on the face. Now using an eyeshadow closer to your skin tone, go ahead and spread that across your face to blend everything together, just so the skin can have a smoother transition and be more seamless. Now using a fluffy blending brush, I'm using the same eyeshadow I used to contour my face earlier, the brown ashy gray tone. I'm applying that all across the wounds, around where the flour is, so I can accentuate the texture, creating more of a decaying look and bruising effect. Now using a black liquid liner, I'm using Kat Von D here. I'm just going to apply it to the edges of the interior of my wound, as well as the edges of the torn toilet paper, just to create more depth, showing off some dried blood and some muscle, torn pieces of skin. And again, you don't have to be precise here. The messier the better, actually, because you want it to be nice and gory and bloody and creepy. Using my fingers, I'm going to dab red lipstick all around the wounds and gashes, just to accentuate the texture and to create a more bloody and infected look. I'm going to do the same thing using a dark brown lipstick, or you can use purple or whatever you have, just to add more dimension and depth and to show some kind of bruising and more infection on the skin. And you can see here, I'm just doing it all around all the wounded areas that I have. I'm extending that brown lipstick across my cheeks and under my eyes, just so that it can be more cohesive and blend nicely. Now you're starting to see a more infected, bruised look on my face. That is definitely the look we're going for here. Now, as you can see, I am crudely applying more red liquid lipstick across my lips, letting it dribble down my chin and smudging it out. Again, you don't have to be precise here. The messier the better, in fact. Let it dribble down my nose as well, smudging it out again. And then I'm going to add some black liquid liner, just so it can have more of a 3D effect and show some dried blood. Now, using the same ashy brown eyeshadow I used earlier, I'm just going to apply that under my eye, across my cheeks, just to create more depth. Adding that around my eyelids so I look more tired and gaunt-like. Now I'm going to add some brown eyeliner on the edges of my wounds for extra depth, line my eyes with it, and smudge it out. Using some red liquid lipstick, again, I'm going to let some blood dribble down the sides of my wounds, just because with big gashes like that, you know you're going to have a lot of blood. You can actually end it there, but I want to do more. I'm going to add some veins so it looks more infected. Here you can see I'm just using that maroon lip liner, just lightly creating lines and branching it out from the edges of the wounds. What I'm doing is I'm first starting off a little more heavy-handed, just a little bit, and letting it lightly spread out across so it creates that veiny, translucent look. Now I want to add more dimension to the veins, so I'm actually adding a darker purple along the edges, just thinly along the edges of the lines that I already created, and just smudging it out to make it even more translucent and make it look more realistic. And there you go, there's your zombie look. Absolutely gorgeous, isn't it? I think so. Alright guys, I had a blast making this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as much as I enjoyed doing the tutorial. So let me know what you think. If you do end up using this method for your Halloween costume this year, please let me know and tag me on Instagram. I would love to see. And just so you know, you don't have to go as crazy or as elaborate as I did. You can probably go even crazier than what I did actually, but if you want to do something simpler, you don't have as many of the makeup as I have to recreate the look, definitely go simpler and it's fine as long as you're having a good time doing it. It's all good. But I want to show an alternative to the, you know, like cutesy Halloween or like the minimalist zero waste Halloween costumes, which are usually like characters from movies and things of that nature. I want to show something that would be like really creepy and is basically a Halloween statement, without using the latex and all that stuff. So definitely try it out if you are so inclined. And I will see you for next week's video, which is the last video of the Minimalist Halloween series. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one. Bye.